Welcome to the Blind Android Users channel. This is your source for everything Android, tutorials and demos, all from a blindness perspective. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content like this.
Hello and welcome to episode 77 of the Blind Android Users podcast. I'm Ed Green and I'm joined by my co-hosts Warren Carr and Fee Dunn. And we're coming to you on Saturday, the 28th of May, 2022. This show, we have a brief announcement section. On the Android basics, we're going to talk about phone storage this week, that important area of Android settings. In the spotlight, Fee Dunn is going to show you how to set up an Echo Dot on her Samsung Galaxy. In the tip of the week, I'm going to show you how to allow a third-party accessibility service under Android 13. And we close with Warren's highlights from Talkback. So here we are again. iPhoner, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. I've been very busy this week. As part of my training, I'm preaching a sermon tomorrow, so I've been writing that all out and preparing it and doing some piano practice because I'm going to be doing a bit of music as well. The weather's been mixed, but we've had some lovely sunshine in London, so it's been a good week.
Got to say, I got absolutely soaked on Tuesday in the thunder and lightning.
Yes, that was quite spectacular on Tuesday, wasn't it?
Yeah, I caught all of it pretty much. A bit annoying.
Oh dear.
Wazza, how are you?
Great. Nice to be back here, guys. And as you guys can tell, though, Ed is joining us from the park, which tells me he's having a fun time out there and maybe the weather is nice. Well, we continue to have continuous rainfall and it's just unbelievable. I think May the 25th was the only day we didn't have rain, and hopefully maybe today not. They say we may have a few scattered showers and all of that, and probably get up to 60 degrees. So I'm looking forward to getting this done and sitting out there while it's still beautiful outside. But I'm glad to be back here, back in the saddle again, guys, and happy to be back with you guys.
I am nervous, I've got to say. I am in the park, but tomorrow is a big football game. It's the playoffs. Oddly, it's the richest game in world football, and it's the game to get out of the second tier of English football, the Championship, into the Premier League. It's worth about £170 million, and my team Huddersfield are in it. So I am nervous about that tomorrow. I'm going. There'll be 90-odd thousand there, so I should be there. But no, I'm in the park now. Yes, twitchy about tomorrow.
I won't offer to swap between doing a sermon and the football. Although the sermon is nerve-wracking, I'll keep that. I have no interest in football. Pardon?
Why don't you pray for Huddersfield?
Because I really don't care about football at all.
But you care about prayer, presumably.
Well, you can pray for them then.
And now we move on to our announcement section. And I think there's only one, really. And Warren Austin's back soon, isn't he?
Austin is back from his holiday, and he's deadbeat right now because he's tired riding on that train all night or whatever. So that boy is tired, but he's going to be back with us next week. And so we're glad Austin have a safe vacation, and he's back from his vacation. And so, Austin, if you're hearing us, boy, welcome back home.
He was always deadbeat, wasn't he?
I think to a degree. Well, you could say that because he's usually probably amongst us all, he's the one that sacrifices and stays up late, because this is like 10 something or whatever in India. And
yeah, it's quite late over there, isn't it?
So it's kind of, generally it's usually like either 9:30 his time or whatever. So, it's kind of tiring to be up at that time to be doing a podcast.
Of course, next weekend we'll be in the UK here, we'll be in the middle of a 4-day weekend because of the Jubilee celebrations. So goodness knows what state Ed's going to be in.
Talking about that, we
normal, really.
Here in the States, we have Memorial Day. So it's a 3-day weekend for us because Monday is Memorial. And so if you're celebrating, or I mean, there's no celebration of Memorial, but this is a day we remember our departed and all of that. And then, but it has been turned into all kinds of stuff to where now you have Memorial Day sales and even online and in-store things. So you just can't tell where this thing is going. Salespeople always take advantage of every break
Oh
that we
yeah,
have.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, well, they do anywhere, don't they? I mean, we've got people here selling special crisps and flags and different, probably crowns that people can dress up in. I should imagine, and thing because the Queen will have been on the throne for 70 years. So, no, sorry, 60. Wait, is it
No,
60?
70.
70. Yes,
Yeah.
it is, isn't it?
Well, no,
70 years.
apparently the signs in Hull said Platinum Jubilee, and they had a cup which did say 60. I hope that
Oh.
person wasn't doing their speed limits.
Oh,
But Hull
oh
Council
dear.
did make that mistake.
Well, my mum saw an Undertaker's yesterday where it said something about memorials, and then it said about next to it about the Platinum Jubilee, which looked a bit strange.
Well, maybe they were doing a sale for Warren's Memorial Day weekend. Maybe there was a.
Yeah, we got a lot of, sales going on here because of Memorial. It's just unbelievable, even online. But it's just one of those things. But we remember our heroes that have, passed, and most especially, this was especially for the military guys. And of course, we remember them for keeping us safe. And so thanks to you guys. If you're in the military, we want to say thank you for your sacrifices.
Oh, that's like our remembrance we have in November.
Yeah,
Similar sort of thing, isn't it?
it is.
Yeah, we do have that too, in November, but Memorial Day is basically remembering,
It's the bigger one, I expect, isn't
yeah,
it?
for guys like that, but it's now for everybody. We have to go out there, put those flowers on the grave.
Is it military or non-military?
Well, it was military, but like it has become for everybody. So, you have lost. If you've lost someone, it's the day to remember that. And so you go to the park and
We can remember Bonnie from The Big Lebowski. We can remember the guy from Clerks. He died.
Yeah.
All of those guys. That's good. Now we turn to our Android Basics section. And we're going to talk about the next area of settings. We've been going through the settings app in quite some detail, and we haven't done that for a little while. But now we're going to return to that and talk about storage. And for this, I'm going to hand over to Warren.
So here we come to storage. So if you're following us, or you've been following us for the past few weeks, we've been dealing with things from within the settings of your Android phone. And we took a little break from that and did other things, but now we return to our system settings again. And this time, though, we're talking about our storage. And everybody knows what storage is. So it could be whether on your SD card, if you have one that has an SD card, or particularly, we're talking about the internal storage of your phone. So storages, guys, if we had to talk about the history of storage, it goes back, doesn't it? It goes way, way back, and how it was back then that little storages were seen as if it was limitless. It was so big back in the day. Because I'm thinking about things like Windows, how much storage those computers have, and then on our mobile phones, your Nokia phones, trying to install those screen readers, or that screen reader, for example, installing Talks on either your Nokia 3660 or 3650, those things. So let's talk storage. And Ed or Fee, what are your thoughts about storage in general? To me, I think they are the backbone of every phone, because that's where the system apps are located, your own installed apps are located. So without storage, there's no phone, right?
Yeah, I think that's really important to know before you buy a phone, especially how much storage it's got. Also, if you're buying a new phone, how much RAM it's got as well, because that's where the programs run. So the more of that there is, the more space they have to run without slowing down too much. And that's where Android sometimes has fallen down in the past, I think, and why some blind people and some sighted people have thought, oh, Android's no good for blind people, because they've tried it on lower end phones, and those phones haven't had very much RAM or storage. So Talkback has been quite slow and choppy and not very responsive. So that has been a problem. I think things like that are getting better now, because even the more basic phones have more storage. But back in the day, oh dear. I like phones with SD cards, although whether my next one will be able to have an SD card, I've no idea whether I'll be able to get those anymore in a decent phone. Phones are a bit annoying in that, for example, if I want to keep my Audible books on the memory card, I have to go to Audible and set that. If I want to keep my photos and videos on the memory card, I have to go to the camera app and set that, and so on and so on. And it's all very boring. And I wish there was a way you could say to your phone, store all media from apps on the memory card, for example. That would be good. But as far as I know, there isn't. So yeah, that's a bit annoying. But first world problems, not the end of the world, but slightly annoying.
Talking about storing, pictures on the memory card, though, I thought that some phones, though, automatically, once they detect that you have a memory card, then they'll store your stuff on there. I think Samsung does that out of the box if you have a Samsung phone that has an SD card, unless, of course, if you turn the camera on without an SD card first, then of course you'll have to go manually change it to say, hey, now go back and put my things on the memory card. But I know phones that have SD cards, when you turn on the camera app or you launch the camera app, will auto detect that SD card and say, hey, I'll be storing your pictures on your memory card. Doesn't your Samsung do that, Fee?
Quite honestly, I don't know, because I think when I first got the phone, I made sure it would store it on the memory card anyway, so I don't use the camera very often. But I know with audio recording apps like HiQ MP3 Recorder, I had to change the storage location. This is what I mean. I'd really like it if when you put a memory card in, your phone said, you've got a memory card. Would you like to store future media on the memory card? And then you could say yes. And then it could say, would you like to transfer the media from your phone onto the memory card? And then you could say yes or no. I'd like that. But it doesn't do that, unfortunately, as far as I know, anyway.
Storage now is absolutely horrible. I mean, why they have done what they have done, I have no idea. Google doesn't want apps to security breach other apps, and I sort of get that, but that's what iOS is for. That's what a wall garden exists for. What Google should have done is give users the power to circumvent this, but essentially scope storage means that certain apps can only store things in certain folders, and that means your storage on Android phones is a complete mess. Like if you want to go find your Telegram stuff, that's going to be in a random folder of downloads. If you want to go find some other stuff, that's going to be a random folder somewhere else. If you had a Windows computer, obviously, you could point any media at any folder that you wanted. And I've no idea why Google has done this. It's a chaos. It's an absolute disaster zone, and they should not have done it. Storage on Android at the minute, scope storage is a mess.
Yeah, but no, we're talking general storage. So if we're talking scope storage, though,
I know, but storage is storage.
well, but in reality, like Fee, what you are saying, though, that should be up to the developer of an app. In other words, if I put in an SD card, or if I launch, let's say I launch HiQ MP3 recorder, for example, the one you mentioned, if I launch that, it should ask me, hey, I noticed that you have an SD card, would you like to do that? But then that's what the settings is for, though. You can go into the settings and choose where your media is stored.
But you
So
can't. That's the point. That's what scope storage stops you from doing. You absolutely cannot do that.
No,
And that's
you
what's
can't.
really
you should be able to.
No, you can't. Like Telegram downloads its stuff to its own folder on Telegram in downloads. You cannot change that. They have wrecked it. They have absolutely wrecked it with scope storage.
But here's the
You cannot
problem.
change that.
But here's why you cannot do that is because the Telegram thing is stored in the internal storage, and so every app stores whatever in its own directory.
And it shouldn't be like that. Like
No,
in Windows,
I think you should have a choice. I agree with Ed. I think you should have a choice.
absolutely, you should be able to override that. And nonsense, absolute nonsense.
You should be able to say, I would like to, you know when you download a file on the computer and it'll say, where would
Put
you
it
like
wherever
to
you
save
want.
it? That would
Yeah,
be good.
well, so see, I don't have a phone with an
Yeah.
SD card, but I thought that WhatsApp, for example, like when it's downloading media, we're talking pictures here and basically, media, you could have it stored directly either in your gallery or you could have it stored in the WhatsApp directory.
You used to be able to. Now you have scope storage, so you can't.
So is
As of
scope
Android
storage
11.
that's 11, yeah, because mine is already doing it. And I notice whenever I download, for example, an email attachment, it just says it's downloaded. I have to then go and find it in downloads.
It's in downloads.
So annoying.
But you can always move those things to your SD card if you have an SD card.
I haven't got all day to be mucking about with settings and moving stuff and
But also, like, not all stuff goes to downloads because it's the annoying scope storage thing. So
yeah, but
like,
here's the other side of it, though, guys, that we're kind of overlooking because it's a catch-22. Because if you let it happen, we have bad guys that take advantage of that and then cause all kinds of havocs out there. And so, what do? Darn if I don't, and dang if I do. So
I absolutely don't mind it set as a default. What I want to be able to do though is override it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Ed. I think we should be able to do that. So there you go. In our ideal universe, we would be able to do that. But yeah, that's not how it is.
I see what you're talking about. I don't have a phone with an SD card, so.
But even with an internal storage,
no, it doesn't matter. This isn't SD card specific. This is
even in an internal storage, you might want to organize your files a certain way, but you can't.
Yeah, but Google wants to keep apps, stay where you're at. Don't go messing around and prying around.
But it's not a wall garden, Android. That's the point. It's absolutely not a wall garden.
Putting your tentacles all through the storage. And that's where a lot of these problems have come from, because of having access to places that you shouldn't have access to. An app shouldn't have access to my phone calls or my contacts if it has nothing to do with it.
Seriously. The phone owner, you see.
No, so see, I see what Google is doing. Yeah.
No, because Google is not a wall. Because Google's a crap wall garden, right? If we want a wall garden, it's Apple all the way. If Google tries to create a wall garden, it's going to be awful, because it's not what it's done. It's coming from a forest where trees grow, and all of a sudden it decides it wants a wall garden. That's going to be rubbish. Everyone goes to iOS.
Oh, well,
yeah, they will.
I don't call it a wall garden.
They will. Absolutely, they will.
They will. They'll say, if I wanted a wall garden, I'll get an Apple. So they're just
because it's better.
Yeah.
Gardening. We don't want Google.
I don't know what is better. How is it better?
Because it's what it does. It was designed as a wall garden. Google was designed as a forest. All of a sudden, they've thought, oh, we need some walls in our forest. And walls in a forest are not as good as walls.
But a forest is a wall. To be honest,
no, it's not.
A forest is a wall. Yeah,
between all the trees.
It bars the wall out. That's a forest is a wall.
Forest shouldn't build walls. Right?
No, I think I'm sorry, but I have to dissent on this, because I don't want apps, having willy-nilly getting access to directories that don't belong to them.
Well, don't install them then.
What I absolutely want to be able to do as a user is to allow whatever app I want to access whatever directory I want.
And quite honestly, if you're stupid enough to install a dodgy app, and I think the Play Store should still check the apps. I agree with that.
No,
But if you,
Store
but if
already
you,
does.
but yeah, so it does that. That's a good thing. But if you sideload an app and it makes your phone go wrong, that's your fault. You just have to reset your phone. Like,
And also,
we
if
should
it
be
goes,
allowed to make those mistakes.
I think so. And if it goes, are you sure you want it to access this folder? Yes, I am. Are you really sure? Yes, I am. Are you really, 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 really sure this is really stupid? I should still be able to click yes.
Yeah. And then if you screw up your phone, that's
my
your fault. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, but
We're not
some file
children.
managers already allow you to do that. Solid Explorer, for example. Yeah, it
It
does.
will not on Android 13. It will not allow you to access.
I have Solid Explorer on my Android 13, and I have it saving things in places that I wanted it to save it to. You have to make
other
it have
apps are
access.
saving things in other folders where I want to save them in different folders.
Yeah, you have to go in and move them afterwards, though, Warren. They won't. You with your file explorer, you can't change your default where your email attachments are saved or your Instagram, your
No,
Telegram.
your email attachments will always go to your downloads.
Yeah, but I don't want that.
But Telegram
It has
downloads
nothing
go
to
Telegram
do with
folder.
Solid
It's so
Explorer.
fluid. It's
No,
annoying.
exactly. But it's annoying. It annoys me. So there we go. We've had our rant for
And
now.
also, Solid Explorer won't write to the data folder.
Okay, so now let's look at the storage that we're talking about, because Fee, you brought up a very important thing here. When one goes to buy a phone, the storage is important. You got to make that decision as to whether or not you want a phone with a bigger storage, and most especially nowadays that a lot of phones are kind of like ditching that SD card. It kind of makes it very hard to have a little puny 16 gig phone running around with that, because the system storage, the system apps by themselves take a lot of space. For example, as I'll be showing here in a little bit, like I'm using my Pixel 4, for example. The system apps is like 14 gigs. So if you have a 16 gig phone and your system apps taking like 5, 6, or 7 or 8 gigs, half of that storage is gone. And these days we have apps that are like by the hundreds of megabytes. And then with the constant updates, believe it or not, within a little time, you'll be running out of storage on that phone. And hence the reason why it's important. It sounds like I'm crazy, but I always go for the biggest storage that I can afford. And so I think that now the standard should not be anything less than 128 gigs of storage, guys. What do you think?
I agree. And although, I guess if you really did have a low budget, there should be an option to buy a lower one. But ideally, you'd want what you said, 128 gigs at least, ideally. But it depends what you want to do with your phone. If all you're going to do with it is ring people, send the odd text, maybe you'll use maps or something. If that's all you're going to do, I guess it doesn't really matter. But if you're like me and you love audiobooks and music and podcasts, your phone's going to get full quite soon with the small storage. So yeah, it really depends what you want to use it for, I think, as well.
Exactly. So if you have a 32 gig phone, for example, and 8 gigs is taken by the system storage and blah blah blah, so you're down. Unless, of course, not everybody have a lot of apps. I'm not looking from my own perspective here, but maybe if all you have is a few apps, maybe 10 apps or whatever, you probably should be able to live with that storage. And most especially, though, some of these phones, lower budget phones or mid-range phones, also a lot of them, I think most of them do have an SD card. I haven't found one that doesn't have one. Is there one that doesn't have? Unless, of course, you're buying a Pixel phone, that's not going to have an SD card slot. But other than that, most manufacturers that provide these phones will definitely have an SD card there. So if you're getting a phone that is a mid-range phone or budget phone, be sure that it has that SD card support, because that's very important. You can put some music and all of that books on there that Fee was talking about. I don't want to dump a lot of music and books on my internal storage, unless, of course, you have a very huge one. But then if you're going to reset the phone, then it becomes a problem. You have to back it up somewhere, and it's just time consuming. So frankly, whoever says we shouldn't be having this SD card, I don't know what he or she was drinking. That's my own opinion on the matter.
Well, the other storage, of course, that we haven't touched on yet nowadays that we have is cloud storage. But I'm always a bit dubious about it. I'm not saying I don't use it, because I do. And it's a great way to, using things like Google Drive and OneDrive, to, write something on the computer and then access it through your phone, or record something from something like HiQ MP3 recorder, and then you can edit it on your computer later on through cloud storage. But I don't like to rely on cloud storage as my only storage option, because what if something goes wrong with that server and you can't access it? I mean, that hasn't happened to me yet, but I'm always wondering, if there was a problem with the internet or a power cut or something. Also, if you, I travel quite often on the underground, and quite often it is what it says, underground. There's no signal for streaming cloud storage media underground. You get Wi-Fi in a lot of stations, but when you're actually traveling in the tunnels, no. So you would have to keep downloading your whatever document or whatever it is you're working on. So if it's on your phone or on your memory card, that's much better if you're traveling somewhere where there's no signal. Cloud storage, I think, has its place, but I don't think it should be seen as a replacement for a memory card like Google seem to be seeing it as.
The SD card is dead, folks. Sorry. Like, it's gone.
Well, it shouldn't be.
I know, but it is. And I know Sony, my phone manufacturer of choice, ironically, has an SD card, but it's dead. It's like the floppy drive when it was deprecated. It's gone.
Well, I'm waiting for the resurrection.
It won't happen. Like, stuff doesn't get resurrected.
The SD card is not dead. It's only dead on some phones, but not on every phone. And most especially, like I said, there are millions of phones out there, especially the mid-range and low-budget phones. They all have SD cards, and so the SD card is not dead.
Nokia will keep it. Nokia will keep the SD cards. Like, the lower-end phones will keep it, but for the flagships or the top-end mid-ranges, the SD card is dead.
Now, like which one? The Galaxy A53 that just came out has an SD card. So show me which of the mid-rangers
that's a
that doesn't have an
mid-range
SD card.
that does, yeah. But the high-range ones,
They all do.
Right.
So all this cry about the SD card is dead is a public card.
I don't agree that it's dead.
2022 doesn't.
No, I
Which
don't
one?
agree that it's dead, but they seem to have taken it away from the high end, which is very annoying.
5A doesn't have an SD
But
card.
Pixel's never had.
Well, no,
SD
Pixel
cards.
never had. So forget about the Pixel. We're not talking about the Pixel
You're
phones.
asking me which mid-range phones do not have SD cards.
No.
I
I'm
am
not talking
telling
about
you
Google
which
phones.
mid-range phones do not have SD cards.
No,
the SD card is dead.
So let's not talk about Google, because even the very first
We're
Google
talking
phone
about
that I had,
mid-range phones. We're
did
not
not
talking about manufacturers.
No, that's just a silly argument you are making. Google has never
The
had
SD card is
never
dead.
had SD cards.
I
And
don't
so
agree
we're
with
not
you, Ed.
talking
I'm not
about
going to
this.
shout, but
I'm
I
not
don't agree
talking
with you.
about Google here.
Google have had SD cards.
No.
The Nexus 4 had an SD card.
I have the first phone that Google ever created. Guess what? It didn't have a headphone jack, and it didn't have an SD card.
Four does.
No, it doesn't.
The which one?
The first phone Google ever put out, the HTC Dream or whatever, it never has an SD card and doesn't even have a headphone jack, for that matter. So I'm not talking about Google here. Google is clearly out, has never had it. I mean, Samsung tried to put it in one of their phones, and they said, let's not do that. It's going to
Samsung had them for ages, actually. They had them in a lot of the Galaxies, certainly up until...
No. I'm talking about a phone they created specifically for Google.
Oh, sorry.
And then
I thought you meant the Galaxy ones.
No. We're talking about that Google that Ed is trying to argue that, there's a mid-range phone. So that's not what we're talking about. When we're talking about mid-rangers out there, I'm excluding Google because Google has never been the one that gives us an SD card because they want us to buy stuff from them. So, but every mid-ranger out there, low budget out there has an SD card.
Except Google. Yeah.
Yes, close. Here is what I'm talking about. I don't know if you guys can hear this.
Storage, 86% used, 9.27 gigabytes free.
So this is a 64 gig phone, my Pixel 4, and it's at 86%. So I don't use this phone anymore as a main driving device because it was already saying, hey, I'm running out of storage, and I had to uninstall a lot of apps and things like that. So, but if you go in here,
storage, navigate up button, out of list,
and you can look at the individual. Let's look at what we have here. We have
storage, navigate up button, 55 gigabytes used, 64 gigabytes total in list.
Okay.
Free up space. Go to Files app to manage and free up space.
And this is that files that Google used to have as a app for low budget phones. It used to be Files Go, but now it has become something that Google uses. And so if you don't have that on your phone, it will also have something that natively comes with Android, and also hence the reason why you're able to view these things. And
apps, 39 gigabytes.
So here, apps are 39 gigs. And if you tap here, you'll see how each app or how much of space each of these apps is taking. Let me show you, for example.
App storage, navigate up button, out of list. Google Play Services, 724 megabytes in list.
See, that's Google Play Services.
Lookout, 773 megabytes. Google, 1.08 gigabytes.
That's Google.
Outlook, 529 megabytes.
So that's my Microsoft Outlook.
Phone, 528 megabytes.
So you see, these apps actually get big and bigger
Storage.
And bigger. And so let's go back.
System, 14 gigabytes.
See, my system apps are 14 gigs. Just imagine 64 gigs. So I'm down to 50 gigs out of the box. It's unbelievable.
Documents and other, 818 megabytes.
And
videos, 197 megabytes.
Of course, because I'm not storing them on here.
Audio, 58 megabytes.
And
images, 25 megabytes. Trash, 0B. Games, 0B.
And that's the last one, because I don't play games, so I don't have any of those. But if you have games and all of that, you see where I'm going with this. By the time that you are done, probably a lot of your space is getting eaten up. And this is what we're talking about. So you can go in here and you can see how your storage is being managed. And you can also, if you have your file managing system, you can go to where you could clean some of these apps that you don't want to, maybe the temporary files, or, cache or whatever. One could go in there and clean those things without the need of, using another third party or whatever, if that's what you want. But that's how we go in here to see that storage.
Thanks, Warren. Now we're going to move on to the spotlight section, and Fee is going to demonstrate how to set up an Amazon Echo Dot from her Samsung Galaxy.
Yes, and I had a slight mishap during this demo, which I then rectified, and I left it in case it happens to anybody else who has a few smart home type gadgets. Hello, this is a demo of me setting up a new Echo Dot. Amazon had a special offer on these devices when I bought this, but by the time of the demo, I don't know whether they will still have that. It was £27 or £28 instead of £49. Now, I already have one of these devices, but what you can do with them is you can make a stereo pair if you have the same type of speakers for the left and the right side of the pair. So with the speaker being on special offer, I got one. In the box you get the speaker and the plug for the wall, and the other end of it plugs into the back of the Echo Dot, which is like a ball shape, but the bottom part is flat. So it's like a ball shaped with the bottom part that would be round chopped off, and it's got a rubber round bit underneath for it to sit on a desk or a surface. There are buttons on the top, plus and minus for volume, and then there's a button to mute and unmute the microphone, and then there's another button if for some reason it doesn't hear your wake word, you can press that button and give your command. Now I have to warn you that this demo will include wake words for Alexa devices, so your devices might get accidentally set off. You may want to mute the microphone on them or put headphones on. Right, so now I'm going to plug in my new device and you'll see what it does. There was a checkbox on the page on Amazon where you could say you wanted them to set it up for you. And I think that means that it will know your devices, it will know your Wi-Fi networks by using the information they already have on those from you. While this wakes up, I'm going to open
Default action. Amazon Alexa.
the Amazon Alexa app on my phone. Oh, and I've just woken up my other Alexa device, which is a Sonos speaker. Because I have so many devices, I have different wake words for them. So my other Echo Dot is woken at the moment by me saying the word computer, because I couldn't change the A word on the Sonos speaker because it's not an Amazon device, so you can't change the wake word. Bit annoying, but there you are.
Amazon Alexa.
So I'll open Amazon Alexa. Now I'm using my Samsung Galaxy S9, which is quite old now, and I could turn on Talkback, but I'm using the Samsung voice assistant at the moment.
Select your profile. Feed on button. Feed on. Feed on button.
That's me.
Setup. Back button setup. Head. Confirm your first name and surname.
Oh, okay. I didn't expect to have to do this, but alright.
No setup. Back button setup. Confirm your first name. First name. Fee. Edit box. Surname. Done. By tapping continue, you agree to Amazon's conditions of use and all the terms found here. Full stop. Continue.
Okay, so it's already got my name actually, so all I need to do then is hit continue.
HVLG, com Amazon D app stroke, com Amazon D app launcher, Amazon Alexa. Image. Allow access to your contacts. This makes it easier to find your friends and family on Alexa, call and message your contacts by name and more. Your contacts will be periodically uploaded to the Amazon service. Accessibility, link, later, button. Yes, button.
Okay, go on then.
Allow Amazon Alexa to access your contacts. Allow, button. Amazon Alexa. Loading, image. Help and feedback, button. One light on, light, button. One light on, light. Image, checked, on, tick, remove. The Great Cholesterol Con, play button.
Oh, that's the book I was reading.
Remove. Fees 40th, continue listening, Spotify.
That's my Spotify playlist. So this is the home of the Alexa app.
Play button. Remove. Make an announcement, broadcast a voice message on all your Echo devices. Remove. Customize Alexa's answers, have Alexa say whatever you want. Create fun and useful responses for your household. Showing items 8 to 9, more options. Start now, button. Alexa, start my day. Alexa can automatically start a series of actions, like reading the weather or the news. More options, button. Create routine, button. Popular skill. More options, meow, novelty and humor. See more skills. Launch, button. Alexa, good night. Set a routine to turn off lights. Have Alexa wish you good night and more. More options, create routine, button. Access Alexa from any screen. Make Alexa the default, then either long press your phone's home button or swipe up from the bottom corner and just ask.
No, I don't want to do that.
More options. Set default assistant, button. Alexa, wake me up to classic FM. More options, button.
Actually, that might be quite nice to be woken up to classic FM.
Discover more, button. Alexa, find quick dinner recipes, cook along with Alexa. Select the recipe that suits your fancy, hear the ingredients and start cooking.
I've tried that before, it's quite good actually.
More options. Learn more. Call your friends from anywhere. Catch up with friends using Alexa voice and video calling. More options. Make a call, button. Explore what Alexa can do. Try saying. More options. Alexa, how do you say fish in Spanish? Alexa, what's the best movie of all time? Alexa, when's the next full moon?
I quite like the full moon one, I've used that before.
Browse things to try. Selected. Tab. Home. Tab. Communicate. Tab. Play. Tab. Devices. Tab. More.
I think I need the devices tab.
Tab. Devices. Tab. Devices. 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 Add a new device or group button.
That's what I want.
HVLG. Com Amazon D app stroke com Amazon D app launcher.
I don't know what on earth that garble means.
Close button. Image. Add device echo. Smart home and accessories button. Add group. Create rooms. Add device echo.
That's what I want.
Amazon Alexa. Setup. Back. Setup. Heading. Help. Button. Which device would you like to set up? Search icon. Tap to search device type or brand. Button. Search icon. Image. Device type or brand. Edit box. Popular brands. Heading. Button. Amazon Echo. Button. Philips Hue. Button. TP-Link. Button. Amazon Echo.
Tap that. Now what happens?
Echo Buds. Button. Echo on the go. Image. Echo. Image. Echo Auto. Button. Image. Amazon Tab. Button. Echo Audio Companion. Heading. Image. Echo Sub. Button. Echo Input. Button. Echo Link. Echo Link and Echo Connect. Echo Smart Home. Other image. Setup. Cancel. Button. Image. Echo Auto. Button. Echo Buds. Echo Image. Echo Smart Speakers. Echo Dot. Echo Plus and more. Button.
That's what I want. That's near the beginning. I missed it before.
Image. Link. Learn more. Your location will be used to make device setup easier, enable location-based features, get local results and more. Allow location. Your link. Image. Later. Yes. Button. Allow Amazon Alexa to access this device's location. Allow only while using. Allow Amazon Alexa. Deny. Allow only.
Allow only
Amazon
while using the app. There we go.
Cancel. Image. Is your Echo plugged in and displaying an orange light?
Well, I don't know about the orange light, but we'll say it is.
Once your Echo is plugged in, the light will take about a minute to turn orange. No. Button. Yes. Button.
We'll say yes and see what happens next. It's quite a while since I've done this.
Image. Searching for device. Make sure your device is nearby, plugged in and in setup mode. Make sure your device is nearby, plugged in and in setup mode. Last item. Image. Searching for device. Make sure your device is nearby, plugged in and in setup mode.
I'm not sure it is in setup mode actually.
Make sure your device. Image. Searching for device. Make sure your device. Back.
I'm going to go back
Setup.
and say no, it's not showing an orange light and see.
Amazon Echo. Image. Light. Button. Amazon Echo. Button. All devices. Button. Hive. Button. TP-Link Cut. Button. Philips Hue. Button. Amazon Echo.
Oh, so it went back to that list. Weird. I don't know why it did that.
Echo Auto. Image. Echo Buds. Button. Echo. Image. Echo on the go. Echo Dot. Echo.
Right, let's say it hasn't got the orange light this time.
Cancel. Image. Is your Echo plugged in and displaying an orange light? Once your Echo. No. Button. Find the round action button on your device and press it for approximately 15 seconds. Once the light on your Echo turns orange, tap continue.
Okay, well, I won't see the orange, but I'll just have to count to 15 or, well, a bit more and hope that that is enough. So, the round button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Just to make sure. Right, now let's try continue.
Continue. Continue.
And see what happens.
Once your echo is plugged in, the light will take about a minute to turn orange. No. Button 1. Is your echo plugged in and displaying an orange light?
Well, we'll say it is.
1. No. Yes. Back. But let's try something else. Here are a few tips. 1. Make sure you stay within 3 meters of your echo device.
I've done that.
2. Check that your device is plugged in. 3. If you don't see an orange light.
Oh no. Hang on.
Accessibility.
Computer.
60%.
Turn on socket 3.
Did you mean switch 3?
Yes.
Okay.
The plug wasn't switched on before. Silly me. It's a smart plug and I hadn't realised that it wasn't switched on, so no wonder this wasn't working. So
Back. Button. Back. Amazon Echo. Button.
I've gone back and I've gone back to the list of different popular devices, so I'll choose Amazon Echo. And then
Echo on the go. Image. Echo smart speakers. Full stop. Echo smart speakers. Heading. Echo plus and more. Button.
oh, and it's playing a tune.
Echo.
I thought it did that. And it hadn't.
Hello, your device is ready for setup.
Oh.
Just download the Alexa app and follow the instructions.
Hallo, dein Gerät kann jetzt eingerichtet werden. Lade dazu die Alexa-App runter und
Okay,
folge
so
den
now it's speaking
Anweisungen.
in
Bonjour,
German.
votre appareil est prêt
French,
pour la
wow.
configuration. Téléchargez l'application Alexa et suivez les instructions.
Ciao, il dispositivo è pronto
Say
per la
yes, it's plugged
configurazione.
in and showing an
Scarica
orange
la tua
light.
Alexa y segui le istruzioni. Hola, el dispositivo está listo para que lo configures. Descarga la app Alexa y sigue las instrucciones.
Bringing your device online. Just a moment.
Ich verbinde dein Gerät. Bitte hab einen Moment Geduld. Connexion de votre appareil. Veuillez patienter.
Connessione del dispositivo in corso. Espera un momento a que el dispositivo se conecte.
Available devices.
Go to your Alexa app.
Um die Einrichtung fortzusetzen, geh bitte in deine
So
Alexa-App.
there's just one and it's this one.
Rendez-vous dans votre application
Per
Alexa.
continuare la configurazione, vai all'app Alexa. Para continuar la
That's
configuración,
quite a
abre la app
racket.
Alexa.
Ah, phew, it stopped.
Amazon Alexa. First item. Image. Connecting to your saved Wi-Fi songwriter.
Good, so I don't have to type in all the...
Updating your device. I'll let you know when it's ready.
That's good that it's connected to my network and I didn't have to type that in, but if you do, then...
Your Echo is ready.
Oh, good. If you do have to, then you just need to make sure beforehand that you've got the passcode for your Wi-Fi network, and I think you have to choose the right network as well. But I've done that with other devices, so I didn't have to. Yay!
Image. Your Echo Dot is now connected to Songwriter. Tap to change Wi-Fi. Button.
No, I don't want to.
Continue.
I
Button.
want to continue.
Not selected. Radio button. These languages are not fully supported in your country. Some Alexa features and content may be unavailable.
Okay, this is choosing a language.
Other languages. Head selected. English United Kingdom. Radio button. Recommended languages. Heading. Selected.
Okay, so that's chosen,
Continue.
so I can continue.
Not selected. Kitchen. Radio button. Not selected. Blast. Your groups. Heading.
Oh, my groups. Okay, so which group do I want this in?
Not selected. Living room. Not selected. Sonner's room. Radio. Not selected. TV room. Radio. Common groups. Not selected. Living room. Radio button.
Living room. There we go.
Selected. Selected. Living room. Continue. Alert loading. Amazon Alexa. Setup. Cancel button. Where is your Echo Dot? Alexa can give you local weather, traffic and more. The link, enter a new address. Alexa can give you local weather, traffic and more. The address is below from your Amazon address book.
Okay, I'm not going to let it play out the address. but I know it's correct.
Link, not select, skip, button, not selected, flat, skip.
Skip that.
Alert, continue without selecting a location.
Oh,
Continue without continue without, Alexa may not be able, cancel, continue, button, cancel. Amazon Alexa, set, cancel, but set up.
oh, okay, so I have to select my address. Okay.
Where is your record? Alexa can give you the link, enter it, not selected, flat 3, select, skip, button, continue, button.
Okay, so I've selected that. Now I'll continue it.
Your Echo Dot is ready. Next. Let's go. Button. Your Echo Dot is ready. Next. Alexa will guide you through some things you can do. Let's go. Let's go.
Nice work. I have a few top things for you to try on your new Echo. Let's get started. When you've got a lot on your plate, ask me for a reminder. I'll cancel this reminder after, but try saying this. Remind me to call Mum at 6 p.m.
Remind me to call Mum at 6 p.m.
Okay, here's a preview of your reminder. I'm reminding you, call Mum. I'll cancel that reminder for now. Here's something fun. I can translate words and phrases for you. Try saying, how do you say happy birthday in Spanish?
How do you say happy birthday in Spanish?
Happy birthday in Spanish is
Feliz cumpleaños.
great. You can ask me to translate words and phrases anytime. You might like trying this. You can broadcast a voice announcement to all of your Echo devices. Try saying, announce dinner is ready.
Announce dinner is ready.
Announcing.
Announcement from Vienna's second Echo Dot. Dinner is ready.
You can also send announcements through the Alexa app in
Ooh,
the
it was in my
Communicate
voice.
tab. That's it for now. Let's celebrate with a dance party. To play music on all your devices simultaneously with the Everywhere group, just tell me to play music everywhere.
Okay, so
Alexa, button, tap, help and feedback. Make a call. Make or call your friend. Then or Alexa, discover.
I
tap,
want
or tap
to
devices.
make a stereo pair now, and then we can test that, and then it's all done.
Tap devices, groups. Blast groups, image, tap the more image button, smart power strip, smart image, tap the more control, image, button, light, on, light, thermostat, link, favorites, thermostats, plugs, button, lights, button, Echo and Alexa, button, Echo and Alexa, back, Echo and Alexa, MS's second blast of flying, MS's blast of flying, button,
Those are Ultimate Ears speakers that I've had for quite a while.
kitchen,
That's a group.
feed second Echo, button,
That's in the kitchen.
living room, Fiona's second Echo Dot, button,
Right, I'm going to open that and see if I
Fiona's
can make
second
it into
Echo
a
Dot.
stereo pair with the other one.
back, device settings, button, not checked, volume, tick box, not checked, drop in, tick box, not checked, do not disturb, volume, drop in, off, Bluetooth connections, connect, image, alarms and timers, add alarm, image, status, Wi-Fi network, songwriter, Bluetooth, disconnected, tab, home, connect,
I want the
off, drop,
settings.
not, device set, Fiona, device settings, back, Fiona's second deck, audio, heading, audio settings, button, wireless, heading, Bluetooth devices, Wi-Fi net, connected devices, heading, speaker built-in speaker change, stereo pair, subwoofer, button,
I want the stereo pair. There we go. So,
button, setup, heading, undefined disabled, select speakers to connect. You can select up to 2 speakers in a subwoofer, all speaker sets, heading, kitchen online, speakers, heading, Fiona's second Echo Dot online, songwriter network, Fiona's Echo Dot online, Fiona's
select that
Echo Dot
and that.
selected, Fiona's second Echo, selected, Fiona's Echo Dot online, don't see your speaker, don't see your button, cancel, setup, heading, undefined disabled, button, select speakers to connect.
Well, it says disabled, but let's try pressing it anyway.
Fiona's second Echo Dot. Fiona's Echo Dot. Swap speakers. Button. Right. Left to make sure your speakers are set to the correct channels. Tap each channel to play a test sound.
Okay, so that did actually work, even though it said undefined disabled. That must have been the continue button or something. Right, let's play the left and right noises and see what we get.
Left,
Left channel.
right.
Right channel.
Yeah, that's okay.
Fiona's second echo dot. Fiona's echo. Swap speakers. Swap speakers. Button. Cancel. Setup. Heading. Button. Next.
Next.
Upstairs. Downstairs. Bedroom. Suggested names. Heading. You can edit this name later. Choose a name. You set bedroom. Down. Upstairs. Main bedroom. Sitting room. Office. Lounge. Dining room. Basement. Bathroom. Patio. Garden. Garage. Hallway. Customize. Hallway. Garage. Bath. Base. Dining. Office. Lounge. Office. Sitting room. Main bedroom. Main. Sitting. Office. Sitting room.
Okay, it hasn't got living room, so I'll put sitting room for now.
Upstairs. Main bedroom. Select office. Lounge.
No, lounge. Lounge.
Office. Selected. Lounge. Selected. Lounge. Choose a name. Suggested name. You can edit this name. Suggested name. Bedroom. You can choose a name. Undefined setup. Undefined disabled.
Right, let's try pressing that again, even though it says undefined disabled.
Device lounge was created. Lounge was devices. Head. Add a new device or group. Echo and Alexa.
Now let's try. Computer. Play Radio 2.
Playing BBC Radio 2.
BBC Sounds.
And there we go, we've got a stereo pair. Computer, stop. There we go, all done.
And you always need to make sure that the power is turned on. So that's what Fee was doing. You're trying to set up something without power. Come on, girl.
Yeah, I know. Very silly.
Oh my gosh. My head rolling on the floor when I listen to that thing. Turn on the damn power, right? Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Fee, for that demonstration.
Normally, wouldn't we? We'd say power to the people. Maybe in this instance, we say power to the people.
Thank you very much.
Apparently, is maybe what we would do.
You would think that someone being fiery as Fee is, she would have that British wrath and make sure the power is on. But no, she wasn't.
Well, there we are. That happens, doesn't it? Occupational hazard.
It does.
Next is my tip of the week. On Android 13, it's become difficult to set a third-party app installed from outside a Play Store as an accessibility service, and I show you how to fix that.
Hello everyone, I'm Ed Green, and I'm here this week with a very brief tip of the week. In Android 13 betas 1 and 2, if you install an app from outside a Play Store, it's unable very easily to take advantage of being an accessibility service. So for instance, if you download commentary from GitHub and install it and try and turn it on, it'll tell you that that setting is restricted. This doesn't apply to apps downloaded from stores such as F-Droid, and on the Play Store, accessibility service apps really do have to be all about accessibility now. Google's clamped down quite hard on that. But it does, as I say, apply to apps downloaded just off the web as an APK, for instance. So I'm going to show you this behavior, and I'm going to show you how you can work around it and enable an app such as commentary to function as an accessibility service service. Health warning, obviously this is beta software I'm going to show you, so it may be that this functionality will either change or even be restricted altogether. Let's hope not, but could potentially happen, I suppose, in the full rollout of Android 13. But for those of you interested, this is how you do it. I'm using a Pixel 5. Obviously it has to be a Fisher Price or one of the limited number of other manufacturer phones that we've covered on the email list and Telegram before, which supports running Android beta software. So I'm in my accessibility settings now, and first of all I'm going to show you what happens if you try and turn, in my case, Commentary G-Shuo on as an accessibility service.
G-Shuo Plus off. Settings. Restricted setting out of list.
So I double tapped it. You heard it say restricted setting. Let's explore.
For your security, this setting is currently unavailable. Learn more button.
That Learn More button is very unhelpful. What it will do is take you to a generic help page where you then go and search for a topic. So it doesn't take you to anything specific at all in terms of help.
OK button. Accessibility. G-Shuo Plus off and list.
So what do we go and do about this then? We need to go into the app info and sort it out from there. So I'm going to double tap my home button.
Home button.
I'm going to swipe up to bring up my apps list.
App suggestions. Witherspoon. G-Shuo Plus.
Now G-Shuo Plus is what Commentary is called in my apps list. So I'm going to double tap and hold it.
Shortcuts. App info out of grid.
App info is what I want.
Pixel launcher. App info. Navigate up button. More options button.
And in the top right-hand corner is a More Options button, where it normally is. If you've got some vision, that's the button with the 3 dots. It doesn't say More Options. That's just what Talkback calls it. So I'm going to double tap on More Options.
Pop-up window. Allow restricted settings and list.
And we want Allow Restricted Settings.
Touch the fingerprint sensor. Verify that it's you. Tap the Cancel Authentication button out of list.
That's quite sensible. It wants me to authenticate the device because accessibility services have all sorts of permissions. As you know, they can monitor pretty much everything that happens to a much greater degree than most other apps. So it's a sensible thing if they're restricting the setting that we need to authenticate ourselves.
Authenticated. Restricted settings allowed for G-Shuo Plus. App info. App info.
So there we go. I'm going to check that that's worked. I'll hit the home button.
And home button up. Pixel launch. Settings as one notification.
I have settings on my home screen.
Settings. Accessibility. Display. Interaction. Audio.
That's what we want.
Accessibility. Navigate up. Button. Out. Downloaded apps. Heading. And G-Shuo Plus. Off.
So let's see if we have any more joy turning G-Shuo on now then.
G-Shuo Plus. Navigate up. Button. Out of list. Use G-Shuo Plus. Off. Switch. And list.
We seem to have got a little bit further, don't we?
Off. Settings. Allow G-Shuo Plus to have full control of your device. Out of list.
So I just double tapped the button which said off, and that's toggled it. So I'm now going to allow it.
Full control is appropriate for apps that help you with accessibility needs, but not for most apps. View and control screen. It can read all content on the screen and display content over other apps. View and perform actions. It can track your interactions with an app or a hardware sensor and interact with apps on your behalf. Allow button.
I'm going to double tap the allow button. I'm going to turn Talkback off so you can tell I am actually using Commentary.
Talkback off. New notification from Android system held volume key. Check permission status.
Oh, Commentary is very quiet. Let's turn that up.
8899. Invert swiping gestures. Read usage hints. Read usage hints. Next, let's decide whether you wish to receive usage hints from the screen reader. Usage hints are short messages spoken on any element. These messages can help you to operate a read usage hints.
So you can tell that that is Commentary now running. So that's it, folks. That's how you do it. It's relatively simple, but I thought worth showing. And as I say, we'll just have to keep an eye on how that functionality develops during the Android 13 beta cycle and beyond.
And we conclude this week with Warren's highlights from Talkback.
We continue now with our theme of highlights from Talkback. This is Installment 37. In our last installment, Installment 36, we concluded the two-finger heading gestures. Today, I'll be taking a look at the three-finger gestures. For today's demonstration, I'll be using my Pixel 6 Pro running Android 13 Beta 2 and Talkback 12.2. I am on my home screen now, and I will navigate to my Talkback menu. Of course, we're talking about the three-finger gestures, and I'll be using three fingers to tap once on my screen to activate the Talkback menu. I will now tap with three fingers to activate Talkback menu.
Talkback menu.
Here is our Talkback menu. The next item I'm looking for in the Talkback menu is an item that says Talkback Settings. I'll put my finger down and tap on Talkback Settings.
Talkback settings.
Here is Talkback Settings. I'll tap here to activate Talkback Settings.
Navigate up button out of list.
I am now in the Talkback Settings. And as always, I'll put down two fingers in the middle of the phone, gliding them upwards, which scrolls down my page. And what I will be looking for is an item that says Customize Gestures. I'll now put two fingers in the middle of the phone, glide them upwards, and scroll down the page. Now I'll find and tap on Customize Gestures.
Customize gestures.
Here is Customize Gestures. I'll tap here to activate Customize Gestures.
Customize gestures out of list.
I apologize because for some reason my Air server and my phone are rather kind of like stuttery today. I am now in the customization page of the gestures. The next thing I would like to do now is to change my granularity to the heading's granularity. I have explained several times that there are one or three methods of changing granularities. One could always use that up-down scrubbing feature with one finger to change those granularities, or if you prefer a multi-finger gesture type, you could simply use your three fingers and swipe down or swipe from left to right or swipe from right to left to change those granularities. As I've indicated always, I prefer the usage of one finger and doing that up-down scrubbing movement with one finger to change my granularity. I will now utilize that preferred method of mine with one finger to change my granularity to the heading's granularity. Here I go. I'll now swipe up and down till it says Headings.
Accessibility volume. Scroll. Speech rate. Windows. Links. Controls.
Controls.
Headings.
Headings. Now that I am on headings, what I need to do is swipe down with one finger until I get to the heading that says three-finger gesture heading. I'll now swipe down till we get to the three-finger gestures. Here I go.
One finger, heading, in list.
Swipe down.
One finger back and forth, heading.
Swipe down.
One finger angle, heading.
Let's keep going.
Two fingers, heading.
Here's two fingers. Let's keep going.
Three fingers, heading.
We are now on the three fingers heading. The first item that we find under this heading will be
Tap with three fingers, open Talkback menu.
Indeed, the very one that we've been talking about, the one that I use in activating the Talkback menu, and that's tapping with three fingers to activate the Talkback menu. As you know, we use that to activate Talkback menu, but yet importantly and most importantly, we also use that when we are, for example, on an icon and we want to get to the actions of the icon. In other words, think about this like the context menu when you are in a Windows application. For example, when you are on a desktop on your computer, you right-click, do the application key or the Shift F10, or doing the right mouse clicking on that item to find the context menu. In the same manner, when you're using Talkback and you come across an icon and you would like to get that context menu, or do the actions menu, then you tap with 3 fingers, which brings up the Talkback menu. But then in the Talkback menu, you're going to find an item near the top that says Actions. And that Actions has to do with the icon that was highlighted prior to tapping with 3 fingers to bring up that Talkback menu. So for example, I want to navigate to my home screen and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Launcher. Google 4 or more items out of list.
I am on my home screen now and it says Google. And that's a folder that has all my googly stuff. Now, if I want to get to the context or the actions of this particular folder, then all I need to do is tap with 3 fingers, which of course brings up the Talkback menu. But as I indicated, at the very top of the list of the items, we'll find an item that says Actions. I'll tap now to show you what I'm talking about.
Ability. Talkback menu.
Here's my Talkback menu, and if I move my finger down or if I swipe right,
Actions in list.
we have Actions, and that Actions has to do with the folder that was highlighted before tapping with 3 fingers. If I tap here on these Actions,
The suite. Actions out of list.
tapping on Actions brings up these items.
Remove in list.
I have Remove, which means if I tap here, I'll be removing the Google folder from my home screen. Move my finger down again.
Move item.
Move item. In other words, if I want to move this folder to a different location on my home screen, I will tap here to move that item.
Cancel button out of list.
Or cancel. And of course, I'm going to tap on cancel because I do not intend on doing anything with this folder. I'll tap here to cancel. Now, if I were on an icon belonging to an app, for example, if I put my finger down,
What 3 words?
I have an item here, an icon that says what 3 words. So if I tap here now,
Ability. Talkback menu.
here's the Talkback menu, and of course below that I have
Actions in list.
Actions. I tap on Actions.
Ability suite. Actions out of list.
Under the Actions, we've got
Shortcuts and notifications in list.
Shortcut and notifications. If I tap here, I could choose, some shortcuts that would be belonging to the app, or
Remove.
remove the app,
Uninstall.
uninstall,
Move item.
move it to a different location on my home screen,
Add to home screen.
add to home screen. So in other words, if this were from within the App Store and I activate that Talkback menu and went through this process, I could tap here to add it to my home screen, but I'm already on my home screen.
Cancel button out of list.
Or cancel. Now back to the top where we saw shortcuts. If I tap on that, for example,
Remove in list. Shortcuts and notifications.
if I tap on shortcuts and notifications, I'll
Pause app button out of list.
have things like pause the app,
App info button.
app info, of course, which when tapped on will take you to where you could either manage the app, uninstall the app, or clear the cache, clear the storage, and all of that.
Photo capture.
There's a photo capture,
Saved locations.
saved locations, and all that depends on the app. For instance, if it were a Gmail client, when I tap on the shortcuts and notifications, one of the items would be to create an email or something to that effect. But that's the usage of your Talkback menu, the 3-finger tap that activates the Talkback menu, which can also be used in activating the context menu or the actions menu on an item. For example, an icon on your home screen, a folder on your home screen, or even a message in your messaging app. For example, if you have a message that contains a link and you highlight that message, you do that 3-finger tap, which brings up the Talkback menu. Therein, you'll find where it says links. Tap on that links, and now you can tap on the link that is embedded in the message you got. And that concludes our 3-finger tap gesture.
And that's a wrap for this week, folks. We shall see you all next week. Goodbye from me.
Bye.
And bye from me, guys. Thank you so much for listening to us. Thanks for listening to another clip from the Blind Android Users channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you're notified of every new material that we upload. Thanks again for listening to the Blind Android Users channel.